Are you looking for peace of mind at your doorstep? Look no further. With the Blink Video Doorbell, your home's entrance is always within your control. Check out the link in the video description to learn more and get your Blink Video Doorbell on Amazon. Your home is in your hands.
A former lover turned obsessive stalker of ABBA star Agnetha Faltskog, who was served with a restraining order and deported back to his native Holland 24 years ago, has been spotted back on Swedish soil. The news is likely to unsettle the 74-year-old reclusive superstar, who became too scared to leave her own home after Gert van der Graaf bombarded her with chilling letters and followed her movements in the months after she ended their brief relationship in the 1990s. Van der Graaf, a Dutch forklift driver, was convicted of harassing Faltskog, served with a restraining order and deported back to Holland on 2 occasions, in 2000 and 2003. But he is now contemplating moving back to Sweden for his retirement, German newspaper Bild has revealed, adding he was seen recently holidaying in the Swedish city of Nyköping. Van der Graaf told Swedish paper Expressen that he has come back to the country simply because he likes it there and played down any suggestions that he would try to approach the Waterloo hitmaker. He said, "It feels like I've come home. I want her, Agnetha, to live her life and feel free. I want to move on with my life too." But in an interview with Mail Online last year, a longtime friend said Van der Graaf is still planning a strategy that will see him reconciled with Faltskog, now a retired grandmother of 4, and said he thinks of nothing else. Van der Graaf first came to Faltskog's attention in 1996, after he set up home a quarter of a mile from her in Eckerö, west of Stockholm. Van der Graaf was 16 years Faltskog's junior when he became obsessed with the superstar and stalked her with frightening zeal until finally, when she was at the lowest ebb in her troubled life, he became her secret boyfriend. Faltskog had bumped into Van der Graaf while out walking on her 47th birthday, and split up with her then-boyfriend Kurt Torpling to date him. She had known about his obsession for years, her biographer Brita Ahlman revealed to the Mirror, but still she got involved with him. Van der Graaf's bewitchment began in 1974, when he was just 8 years old and watched ABBA win the Eurovision Song Contest, staged that year in Brighton, with the catchy Waterloo. By his early teens, ABBA had disbanded, but he cycled 35 miles to attend one of her early solo TV performances in Holland. When she told the studio audience she loved them, he explained he felt the words were directed only at him. He rode home, convinced she had fallen for him, as he had for her. His infatuation with Faltskog, and the imagined connection they shared, caused him to immerse himself in Swedish culture, and he taught himself the language from a phrasebook so he could write doting letters to her in her native tongue. As he didn't have her address, he posted his messages to Anna Faltskog, Sweden, never knowing whether they reached her. After making several desperate attempts to locate the ABBA star, he eventually moved to Sweden in 1997. He borrowed £45,000 to buy a busted wooden cabin just half a mile from Faltskog's home and found work with a local staffing agency. Soon afterwards, he claims, by pure chance, he bumped into her as she was walking with Torpling. When he introduced himself as the longtime admirer who had left presents for her, she reportedly didn't seem displeased. "My heart almost hurt at how beautiful she was," he once told Swedish pop culture author Fredrik Sträge for his 2005 book, Fans. "She should have looked older. She stood there in her raincoat and smelled very sweet, like perfume." A few days later, Van der Graaf said the pop star sent her gardener to his cabin to say she liked his letter and ask him to send more. The bizarre relationship blossomed before Van der Graaf's eyes until the pair finally shared a kiss before making love. In 1999, when the emotionally vulnerable Faltskog ended their affair, after realizing Van der Graaf's fixation with her was an illness, he began to terrorize her and soon she was too scared to leave her home. He bombarded her with chilling letters. "Shall we burn to death?" he wrote, comparing them to Romeo and Juliet, appearing suddenly at her kitchen window, and following her when she went out walking or shopping. Police later raided his cabin, which had become a shrine to her. Van der Graaf was convicted of harassing Faltskog, served with a restraining order and deported to H.